Everyone in the homesteading world seems dead set on planting a standard orchard. They drop serious cash on a 5-foot apple tree and wait 7 long years for a harvest that might get wiped out by a single late frost. It's a massive gamble of time and sweat equity. But what if I told you the real secret to homestead abundance isn't up in the canopy? It's down in the dirt, waist high, doing all the heavy lifting. Today, I'm showing you 10 entirely different bushes smart homesteaders use to lock down their food supply. These fast-producing shrubs absolutely laugh at bad weather. Stick around, because number 7 is a living barbed wire fence that feeds you, and number 1 puts food on your table its very first year. Let's get to work. Let's start with a plant that treats poor dirt and severe drought like a vacation. The Goji Berry, officially Lycium barbarum, is a sprawling, knee-high shrub producing some of the most nutrient-dense berries on Earth. Hardy in USDA zones 3 through 10, it wants full, blasting sun, well-draining soil, and thrives beautifully in containers. By year 2, you're harvesting bright red berries. The mistake is babying it. Feed it rich compost, and it grows massive vines but refuses to fruit. Treat it mean to keep it keen. For pet owners, the ASPCA notes ripe berries are safe, but Goji is a nightshade. Its foliage and unripe parts are toxic, so keep it fenced off from dogs. Evolving in Tibetan deserts, it packs its fruit with survival antioxidants to hydrate them. Dried Goji sit in your pantry for 2 years, ready for winter stews. Think of it as the ultimate survival raisin. Forget wrestling with a 20-foot cherry tree on a sketchy aluminum ladder. Meet the Carmine jewel, formerly Prunus excoriacis. This true dwarf bush maxes out around 6 feet. It's bulletproof down to a brutal zone 3 and handles heat up to zone 8. Give it full sun, and it tolerates heavy clay if water doesn't pool. You'll see nearly black cherries by year 3. The rookie mistake is planting it too deep. Bury the crown, and it rots before flowering. Safety-wise, the ASPCA confirms the flesh is safe, but like all cherries, stems, leaves, and pits contain natural cyanide. Don't let dogs chew pruned branches. Here's a bankable fact. The University of Saskatchewan bred this bush solely to survive negative 40-degree winters and dump a massive crop. Slightly more tart than a Bing cherry, they are the absolute king of preservation, making the richest pie filling you'll ever can. Number 8. Chicago Hardy Fig, the resurgent miracle. You usually associate figs with a warm California breeze, but the Chicago Hardy Fig, Ficus carica, rewrites the rules. While a tree down south in USDA zones 5 through 7, it's managed entirely as a dieback bush. It loves baking in full sun and thrives in half-barrel planters. The return is staggering. You'll harvest fruit in year 2, sometimes year 1 from a good cutting. The fatal mistake up north is leaving roots exposed. In zone 5, if you don't mulch the base heavily with straw before the ground freezes, you lose the plant. The ASPCA warns fig foliage and milky sap are toxic to pets, causing severe dermatitis, so plant where dogs won't chew leaves. The verifiable magic is its resilience. The above-ground structure can freeze solid, die to the dirt, and shoot up new growth in spring that still produces a heavy late summer crop. Dehydrate them for shelf-stable winter calories. Number 7. Flowering Quince, the defensive producer. I mentioned a living fence earlier. The flowering quince, Chinomylus japonica, is one of the toughest fruiting shrubs on Earth. Hardy from zones 5 to 9, this tangled bush takes terrible clay, high winds, and severe drought on the chin. By year 3, branches load up with hard, yellow, apple-like fruits. The biggest mistake is throwing fertilizer at it. Excess nitrogen prompts vicious thorns and dropped blossoms. Let it struggle. and it fruits heavily. The ASPCA states quince flesh is safe, but like apples, seeds contain trace cyanogenic glycosides. Break up fallen fruit so dogs don't eat seeds. Back in colonial America, pioneers planted dense quince hedgerows to keep livestock in and predators out. You can't eat the fruit raw. It's rock hard and incredibly sour, but it possesses some of the highest natural pectin levels anywhere. Boil it down for a glowing tart jelly. It's security that pays in preserves. Number 6. Thimbleberry, the shade-loving secret. Number 6. Thimbleberry, the shade-loving secret. Most fruiting bushes demand punishing sun. The thimbleberry, Rubus parviflorus, demands the exact opposite. Native to North American woods, this bush is hardy from zones 3 to 9. It actively seeks dappled shade and moist soil. Tuck this into the understory of your larger trees, and by year 2, you'll harvest soft, dome-shaped red berries. The quickest way to kill a thimbleberry is planting it in baking afternoon sun. Its massive leaves will scorch within a week. The ASPCA lists the thimbleberry as entirely non-toxic to pets. Best of all, unlike wild blackberries, it has 0 thorns. Harvesting is a peaceful walk, not a bloodletting event. Indigenous communities actually use the massive leaves as natural wrapping paper to cook fish. The berries are so fragile they'll melt in your hands, but cook them down, and they create a delicate jam capturing the exact taste of a forest summer. Number 5. Pineapple guava, the evergreen double harvest. If you live out west or in warmer zones, Acacelloiana, better known as pineapple guava or feijoa, is the bush for year-round beauty and serious food. Hardy in zones 8 to 10, this evergreen shrub wants full sun and sandy, well-draining loam. It takes longer, usually year 3 or 4, to hit peak production, but it's worth the wait. The rookie mistake is planting just one. While some tags claim they're self-fertile, feijoas desperately need cross-pollination. Plant 2 different varieties, or yield drops 80%. The ASPCA confirms this plant is non-toxic to household pets. Here's the secret. Feijoa gives a double-duty harvest. In spring, it pushes out stunning flowers with thick petals, tasting exactly like sweet cotton candy. You can eat the petals in salads without damaging the fruit set. By autumn, you get green, egg-shaped fruits that voluntarily drop when ripe, tasting like a wild mix of pineapple and mint. Number 4. Bush Chinquapin, the knee-high nut producer. We talk about sweet berries, but what about calories that actually keep you going? The bush Chinquapin, Castanea pumila, is a native nut-producing shrub modern gardeners have overlooked. Hardy from zones 5 to 9, it needs slightly acidic, well-drained soil and partial to full sun. By year 3, branches load with spiky burrs containing sweet, calorie-dense nuts. The fatal mistake is ignoring soil pH. Planted in highly alkaline dirt, it slowly starves and turns yellow. The ASPCA states the plant is non-toxic, though you must keep dogs away from fallen burrs. Those sharp spines are a physical hazard to paws. When chestnut blight wiped out 4 billion American chestnut trees in the early 1900s, the humble bush Chinquapin survived thanks to natural genetic resistance. Dry the nuts hard and grind them into a nutrient-dense, gluten-free flour that sits safely in your pantry for years. It's a carbohydrate factory. Number 3. Clove Currant, the forgotten fragrance. Don't mix this up with standard European currants. The clove currant, Ribes odoratum, is a rugged, adaptable North American native. Hardy in zones 4 through 8, It handles summer droughts and partial woodland shade without skipping a beat. You'll see black teardrop-shaped berries by year 2. The mistake weekend gardeners make is a deep fear of pruning. If you leave 4-year-old wood on this bush, it completely stops producing. Aggressively cut out the oldest wood every winter to force new fruiting canes. The ASPCA classifies all currants in the ribes family as non-toxic to pets, making them a safe alternative to toxic grapes. In early spring, this bush erupts into yellow flowers smelling exactly like sweet vanilla and baking cloves. The scent is so powerful you can smell it 50 feet away. Native tribes utilized clove currant and pemmican, the ultimate survival ration of dried meat and fat that sustained people through brutal winters. Number 2. Dwarf Pomegranate, the desert storage unit. For folks dealing with blazing summers, the dwarf pomegranate, specifically compact varieties like Nana punica granatum, is your ultimate fruiting bush. Hardy in zones 7 to 10, it demands relentless heat and doesn't care how depleted your topsoil is. Kept pruned as a dense shrub, it begins producing nutrient-packed pomegranates by year 2. The biggest mistake is inconsistent watering during the late summer fruit swelling phase. If you let the soil go bone dry and suddenly flood it, that rapid water uptake causes every fruit to split open. The ASPCA notes the plant is non-toxic, but the tough seeds can cause mild stomach upset in dogs if eaten in bulk. The pomegranate's thick, leathery skin evolved to trap internal moisture in the desert. Long before refrigeration, merchants stored these in dark ship holds for months. Harvest these in late fall, toss them in a root cellar, and crack open fresh arils in the dead of February. Number 1. Dwarf Everbearing Mulberry, the continuous harvest. Mention mulberry, and folks picture a 60-foot weed tree dropping messy fruit on the driveway. But the dwarf everbearing mulberry, Morus nigra, is the most relentless food producer you can plant. Hardy in zones 5 to 10, it accepts almost any soil in full sun. Plant a healthy cutting in spring, and it often begins producing fruit its very first year. The main mistake is planting near concrete patios. That dark purple juice stains permanently, so plant it deep in the garden. For animal safety, pay attention. While fully ripe dark berries are perfectly safe, the ASPCA warns that unripe green fruit, leaves, and milky sap are toxic and hallucinogenic to dogs and livestock. Keep animals away from green drops. Instead of one overwhelming harvest, the everbearing bush produces a continuous daily trickle of fruit from early summer until the first frost. Toss extras in the dehydrator. They shrink into chewy morsels that put raisins to shame. You don't need a sprawling orchard to feed your family. You just need the right plants, in the right dirt, doing the right job. Every bush on this list gives a higher return on investment in a fraction of the time compared to standard trees. They demand less water, less pruning, and a lot less waiting. If this video helped you rethink your garden space, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button right now. We put out new survival and homesteading strategies every single week. Now I want to hear from you in the comments. Are you going to plant the defensive flowering quince? Or are you going straight for the year 1 harvest of the dwarf mulberry? Get your hands dirty, plant something resilient this weekend, and I'll see you in the next video.